joining us, folks, for this midweek NBA action on 2K Sports. Along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. Fans here in Detroit ready to cheer on their Pistons in this interconference matchup. This is their first chance to take a look at the Jazz this season. They lost both of the matchups in this interconference battle a season ago. Like to change that now.
And in their family in the crowd tonight or watching at home, I know a lot of people are proud of this young man. He's worked so hard to achieve this goal.
Yeah, and the future's bright for him, Greg. Not just tonight and not just this season, but for years to come.
Here's Bullock. And that one's good. Bullock's got his first basket of the night.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But, boy, that was a nice job.
Oh, and what a feeling it's got to be as we get to see the very first NBA bucket from Fisher.
Yeah, and, he can relax a little bit now. That first one is in the books. It won't be the biggest bucket he makes in his life, but, man, it may be the most memorable.
I think you may be right about that. No matter how many thousands of them he winds up with, he'll never forget that first one.
Now, here's Burks. He's guarded closely. Clock at 4. Marked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call. 5 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Meeks outside, and it goes at the buzzer!
Digging deep to hit that shot. That shows some serious.
And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. It's Detroit up by 4. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. Clark, you don't see that kind of perspective for most rookies, do you?
You really don't, Kevin. I really like his approach to the game. What remains to be seen, though, is will that translate to consistent production on the court.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And what stands out to you from the Pistons so far in this one?
And it's really about limiting their mistakes. And early on, they've been able to do that here in the first.
And, guys, I like what I've seen from them on the other end, forcing a few giveaways. And that's allowed them to widen that turnover margin.
They've got Reggie Bullock, Aaron Baines out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Johnson, and it's Meeks in at the point. That's the group for Detroit right now. Burke, and it's going to be a 3-second call.
Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
The Pistons making a change here. Jackson's checked in. Derek Favors checked in for the Jazz. Jackson dishes to Morris. Passes it to Meeks. Johnson, that's for 2. They get the rebound.
But that would have been lucky had it fallen. Poor shot selection.
Yeah, look at the coach's face and the expression. It says all over it Are you kidding me?
Burks the pass to Fisher. That one rolling around and rims out. Well, with Coach Stan Van Gundy, it was a very successful first year in Detroit. He's a guy who's going to build around defense. That's been his MO.
And Van Gundy has always been a defensive first type guy, Kevin. I mean, the last 30 years, has probably the best defensive efficiency for a career as a coach, and his teams always play with great emphasis on that side of the ball.
Marked down low that time, and he got the 3-second thing. And a different look here for the Pistons. Andre Drummond's checked in for Aaron Baines. Tolliver comes in for Marcus Morris. Tobias Harris is checked in for Johnson. And it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in for Jody Meeks. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Gobert, he's checked in for Trevor Booker. Hayward comes in for Fisher. Hood's checked in for Burks. And Max subbed in for Trey Burke. Drummond a screen. Pass to Caldwell-Pope. Clock at 6. Shoots off the screen. That one wide left.
Yeah, but the hand in the face. It's critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
Move the ball.
Here's Matt, guarded by Jackson. Here's the floater. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. And that one's good.
And bullseye with that assist. Nice delivery.
So Detroit ends up going with the new group. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Booker, he's checked in for Favors. Fisher comes in for Gordon Hayward. Burks, he's checked in for Hood. And it's Burke in for Mack. And stolen by Fisher. Fast break, here come the Jazz. And here we see the debut of Freak, the kid from Harlem. His first time on an NBA floor. And Clark, it's a moment that he's worked very hard to achieve, and his family has got to be proud.
Extremely so, Kevin. It's been a long journey for him, but every level along the way, he's found success. High school phenom, playing for a college championship. I wouldn't bet against this kid on anything when it comes to basketball.
Well, with Freak Clark, there was a question whether he would stay another year in college. Really was a tough decision for him, but he ended up coming out after his freshman year.
And, Kevin, it's really hard to blame a guy like Freak for doing that. I mean, he's clearly NBA ready, and he's putting a lot at risk for every year he stays in school, and he could be on the NBA clock.
And they may be leaning a little too heavily on the three-pointer when there are better looks to be had inside.
Yeah, and it's one thing when your shots are falling from the perimeter, but when you go cold and things aren't going as well, you got to get that thing inside. Mix it up a little bit.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
And Meeks kicks to Johnson. And another three for Detroit.
They're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results right now.
You're right. 3 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Out to the right wing. Here's the screen. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. "19 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Here's Bullock. He has 5. Morris a screen. Bullock dishes to Meeks. Pulls it from the elbow. Hits the front of the rim and out.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
And the first half comes to a...
All right, fellas, still anyone's ball game right now. A few things from the first half. I'm not going to single out any one guy because we've gotten contributions from all over the place. I can't say enough about the work you fellas did coming off the bench especially. We were able to make an impact with our low post offense. Let's continue to exploit those good mismatches in the paint. And let me touch on tempo for a second. We're not out to use the whole shot clock. but I would like to see us get set up offensively. That's it for now, guys. Let's go get that W.
And we welcome you back to the NBA here on 2K Sports. And we're ready to get going once more. The players having a chance to have a short break and get some rest themselves and get refueled and hydrated with some Gatorade. More terrific basketball in store for us tonight. One guy who's been getting it done is Stanley Johnson.
And his play in that first half, how about the discipline to go along with the efficiency, guys? His shot selection was just perfect.
I agree. I mean, whether it's been from mid-range or in tight, he is taking only what the defense is giving him and not trying to do too much. Very much playing within himself.
So on the floor for Utah, the forwards are Hayward and Favors. Then it's Rudy Gobert, and it's Hood in at the 2 spot. Favors with the screen. Hood, the pass to Favors. The shot is off. Well, what a second half of the season it was for the Jazz. After the All-Star break, they went on a rampage.
And the catalyst for that was the defense. I mean, very few opponents got to triple digits against the Jazz after the All-Star break.
Hayward against Harris. Just 5 on the clock. And stolen by Hayward. And here they go. Second half just getting started. About a minute played. Now Jackson. Down low for the lead. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And for the Jazz and their defense post-All-Star break, it helped them in their big second half run. How about a 422 field goal percentage against after the break?
Shooting 2. Shooting 2.
Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead.
And, you know, you were talking about the field goal percentage against for the Jazz. It was the 3rd best in the league after the All-Star break. That's field goal percentage defense. They allowed the fewest points in the NBA after the break as well.
Now the free throw is good. Now leading by 1.
Boy, I tell you, I thought the Jazz had a big year last season. Looked much tougher than before. The big part of that is how Coach Quinn Snyder helped the team grow. I mean, he looked like a perfect fit in his first year with the franchise. You know, he'll make you scratch your head and throw your hands up as a defender. I mean, you just don't know how to play him.
Tolliver, no luck. So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Guys, untidy. You've got to value the possession of the basketball.
Simply put, out of control is how they played thus far. They're going to have to reel it in and show some more discipline.
Hood can't get it to go. You were mentioning the Jazz, and they grew last year under Coach Quinn Snyder in his first year. You know, Greg, he did the same thing with teams when he was a coach in the D-League.
That's a great point, Kevin. And beyond the growth that the Jazz showed, I think everyone in Utah was pleased with the style of play. I mean, Coach Snyder's got the team back to playing hard defense and really grinding out wins.
Kicks it to Gobert. Here's Hood. Hayward outside. Gobert the screen. Hayward against Harris. Utah gets it back. Out to Favors. Here's Hood. Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Right side Favors. Gets it to go from 18 feet away. Favors has got 6. Guys, close one here. No team getting a huge advantage.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, there have already been 5 lead changes, but nobody taking control of it.
Yeah, tooth and nail fight so far, guys. These sides match up really well.
Drummond the screen. Jackson has the open look. Off target from outside. Utah leading. Feeds to Gobert. Jackson against Favors. And he lays it straight in. 8 points for him.
And he just big-boyed it right there. The height advantage he's got down low, really difficult for them to defend.
Outside Jackson. Good on the three-point shot. Jackson's got his 3rd basket of the night.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
And that one's good by Favors.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Outside Jackson. Harris setting the pick for Jackson. Here's Drummond, and count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Boy, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip. They've got a battle inside.
This game has been a battle, and maybe they're starting to just run out of gas a little bit.
He shot 3 of 7 from the line in this one.
Not sure where it's gone, but he's lost his confidence at the foul line.
And that's been a huge problem. I mean, giving away points at the stripe, never a good thing. And, you know, with his free throw percentage being where it was last season, it changed the way teams defended him. I mean, there were no easy baskets. He was going to get fouled anytime he got near the rim. They were going to make him earn his points at the line.
Drummond, a bit of a disappointing season last year. Not so much in play, but people wanted to see a bigger leap from him. Now, his numbers are still pretty jaw-dropping.
Yeah.
But I think he's got so much there to give.
He has a lot of potential, Kevin. And listen, I don't think his play was bad. He just had such huge expectations to live up to. I mean, player development is not a straight line, and it would have been very hard to have him take another huge leap forward. Sometimes you have that sophomore jinx. Well, I'm expecting a big year from him this season.
Tolliver kicks to Harris. The three-pointer, no good.
He is yet to get into the flow of this game. His teammates have done their part, but they need him to pick his game up.
And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul, stopping the layup and not giving up the and one.
And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for Detroit?
Guys, they've done a nice job of drawing countless fouls in this game, and as a result, they've gotten a ton of points at the line.
Shooting 2. Yeah, but they also never seem to get cold from mid-range. Just kept hitting those shots with consistency.
First one falls for him. And, you know, Gordon Hayward was involved in one of the more fascinating NBA draft stories. It started after his father confirmed that Gordon would submit his name to the draft, but would not immediately hire an agent.
Yeah, reportedly, Dad created a highly detailed 2-page questionnaire that he gave prospective agents, which is not something that's typical.
Hayward hits them both.
And on the topic of Hayward hiring an agent, it was reported that the questionnaire was just the beginning, and that prospective agents also went through quite a grilling. In addition to that, you talk about a thorough process.
Drummond dishes to Morris. Morris a screen. Caldwell poke. Detroit, no good that time either.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2.
You know, back to Hayward, obviously his first NBA contract was subject to the rookie wage scale, but his second contract, 4-year max deal. So whatever the Haywards have done as far as agent vetting, it's paid off.
Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good. Well, last season, the Pistons didn't reach the playoffs for the 6th consecutive season. They're making progress, but as we can all see, still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you know, they were spoiled for a while there. How about going to the playoffs from 1996 to 2009. So it's been a rough stretch here of late. But you get the feeling that the building blocks are in place for another push.
And I bet most people forget that the Pistons did make the playoffs for 8 straight years before this current drought. It's been a long rebuild process for them recently, but I think they're making progress and moving in the right direction.
And for the Pistons, they seem to have a direction and plan now that just wasn't the case before. It won't be easy to get back into the postseason, but I really feel like they are on the right path.
All right, now, take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw, good. Drummond.
Andre Drummond is a big guy. At the NBA Draft Combine, he measures 7 feet tall with a 7'7" wingspan, and he tipped the scales at 280 pounds. That's a super heavyweight, my friends.
Trey Burks checked in for Utah. That one is no good. And on the topic of Andre Drummond, Greg, there are a few guys in the league who combine his kind of size with the type of athleticism he possesses. Fast up and down the floor, quick off his feet, even sports a little hang time. I mean, the guy's got a full package athletic.
You talked about the raw physical tools, and you factor in the 2 things as a big that I really value: great hands and quick feet, and he's got that going for him. So you can't go through him, you can't go around him, and you certainly can't go over him. I mean, what's left?
We can only hope to contain him, as they say. Burke with it. Jackson on him. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. Aaron Baines. The Pistons leading. Now here's Jackson. 7 points in the game. He dishes it to Morris. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time. Morris has got his first basket.
The mid-range jumper is a high percentage shot for him. And when he's got that much room, forget about it.
Here's Fisher. Good on the 3-point shot. Fisher's got the game tied up here for the Jazz.
Man, that is not an easy shot right there. I mean, he had to get it off over a much taller defender.
Yeah, he needed to add just a little more loft on that one because of the size mismatch, and he did it perfectly.
And Mack kicks to Fisher. Launches it. The shot no good.
You know, even though he missed that one, great shooters have a way of feeling when they've got enough room to pull the trigger.
No doubt about it. The defense, you can see him exhaling right now. Fortunate that he didn't knock that one down.
Jackson passes to Baines. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Jazz have gone just a bit under 50% from the field since halftime. 5 out of 11. There's the dish to Fisher. Burke kicks to Fisher. The Jazz working the ball around now. 6 to shoot. To the middle. Soft touch off the glass. Fisher's got 9 points.
And their solid play in the paint continues, guys.
And that's been their focus, it seems, throughout the game. I like the discipline that they've showed in terms of creating those opportunities on the inside.
And the foul called on Freak. They set the pick. Jackson dishes to Johnson. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time. Jackson's got 6 assists in the game. Pass to Fisher. Makes the bucket. Now he's got 5 field goals, 5 for 8 in the game. And Clark, a great competitive game so far.
Yeah, tit for tat. I mean, back and forth, plenty of lead changes, and excellent play.
And from the look of it, this one could go right down to the wire.
Got it. Get the ball inside.
Up top, Burke. Guarded by Jackson. Burke, the pass to Favors. He feeds it to Burks. And there's the 3-second violation. It's time now to look at the NBA's toughest defensive teams from a season ago. The Jazz, number 1.
Defense was their identity, and that's how they're going to beat you. And they did it better than anyone in the league.
Here's Baines. He's covered by Favors. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call.
Well, look here at last year in the NBA, where the Jazz ranked. First in opponent points per game. Second in second chance points. And they were ranked third in blocks. A good, solid defensive team in the paint.
And the hallmark for this team is that stifling defense. I mean, you mentioned that ranking. Lowest opponent's points per game. They just grind teams down and really just took the life out of them.
Reggie Bullock, he's checked in for Reggie Jackson. Detroit's gone a less than productive 2 of 6 from three-point land in the second half. And Meeks kicks to Morris. Rebounded by the Jazz. Favors got 5 rebounds tonight. Burke dishes to Favors. And here's Burks. 5 points in the game. Back to Favors. Jumper off the screen. Here's Gobert. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
And what a gutty play. I mean, muscles his way to the rebound and then just pounds it home for the putback.
Well said, G.A. The battle on the boards, Clark, could go a long way toward deciding this game.
You know, and if that play is any indication, that's a battle they're willing to put every ounce of their energy into winning.
And the pass to Favors. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. And Gobert kicks to Burks. Dishes it to Fisher. Moves back up. He takes it up and lays it in. Fisher's got 9 points now in just the second half.
It's a tight one. Neither team really able to create any separation.
We've been going back and forth, partner. It's been really, really tight so far.
First free throw is good. The Jazz making a switch here. So he gets them both.
And that's another area where he is just a superb player. Excellent at the free throw line.
It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of 3. The Pistons on top, up by 1. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills. All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. Here's Bullock, the big men, Tolliver and Drummond. Contavious Caldwell-Pope is out there with Reggie Bullock, and it's Harris in at the 3 slot. That's the group for Detroit right now.
And I'm sensing something special going on here tonight.
It certainly does have the feeling of a classic, Greg. Let's see which team is better equipped to handle the pressure.
Favors can't get it to go.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there.
6 on the shot clock. Here's Bullock. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will take it. And the Pistons making a change here. Jackson's checked in. So it's the Jazz now. 19-point game. Burke, the pass to Booker. Here's Fisher. No good with the triple. The Pistons shooting it well here in the fourth quarter, 50%.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for Detroit.
Their superior ball handling won it for him here, Clark.
Well, Kevin, when you squeeze the orange, you get more shot opportunities, and that's always a good bet.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
It sure is. It's just a 2-gamer since they're in opposite conferences, and you can bet they'll take the same approach right into game 2 that they had tonight.
And we've come to expect nothing less from one of the league's elite players, but another tour de force for Drummond. He did all the dirty work that they needed, clearing out space underneath and securing rebounds.
Now the feed to Johnson from downtown, and the shot is good.
I don't want to say they're trying to run up the score here, but they do keep adding to the lead.
Well, I know you don't want to say it, but I will, partner. I mean, they're trying to run the score up here. It's plain and simple. They're trying to throw salt all in that wound.
Park down low that time, and he got the 3-second call.
Back on the floor.
27 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Doubled by Fisher. Johnson kicks to Bullock. And it's off from 3-point range. Mack dishes to Burke. Here's Fisher, and that one drops.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
And so Detroit takes this one by a big margin. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team, Clark, by far tonight.
No question about it, Kevin.